Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at crypto.com. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous CRO update, I would encourage you to check out that one before watching this one because I'm not going to be repeating a lot of the stuff that I said in the previous update. It's going to be in the top right hand section of your video. Click the card, watch that, then come back to this one. So we're on the daily chart. Doing pretty good. We're a bit overextended from the 20 EMA, and straight off the bat, the gap between the EMAs right now is unhealthy. So I would imagine that at some point we can potentially come back to the 55 EMA. So always look for the 55 EMA as a nice support level, right? So in a bull market, if you start losing the 20 EMA, your 55 is the most important level to hold, and you can have these wicks off the 55 EMA. And a lot of projects had those wicks when we had the Bitcoin pullback a couple of days ago. So I did give you this buying area between 32.60 cents and 29.53 cents. And as you can see, if you bought in at those prices, you're in profit of around about 25-30%. So yeah, if you pay attention to the support levels that I give you and you actually have them as buy orders after doing your own research, obviously, then you're going to be doing great. But I'm not a financial advisor by any means. So a bounce off the 20 EMA, I would think, is coming in the very near future. And I would even think that we may even lose it as support for a little bit because, it's starting to turn a bit vertical. And when it does that, you guys know that when the price starts coming back down to hold support on the EMA, since it's vertical, it's very hard to hold support and it loses it as support, and that's where you potentially see the bounce off the 55 EMA. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't recommend buying in right now because you don't want to be buying green candles, obviously, but who's to say that it's not going to skyrocket from here, obviously. So we had a lot of hype because of the Cronus mainnet for crypto.com, so that drove the price up quite a bit, you can see, but I would imagine we would come back to the 20 EMA at least for a healthy retest and for a healthy level of support that needs to be held. So I think around 30 cents, 32 cents is still a nice place to enter. So have this yellow rectangle on your charts as well and be ready with those buy orders. But zooming out and looking at the larger picture, obviously I do have the fib set up from the swing high over here in March to the swing low in June. And we have our 1.618 at 83 cents. That's something that we're looking at right now. And that is pretty much a 2x from where we are right now. So obviously, I do think we're going to get to the second fib level as well. But like always, not a financial advisor. We may not get there, right? We may just start pumping and not even touching it. We can have the pullback and you'll be left with that sell order, right? So what I recommend is just having the sell orders below the fib levels, right? So that you get filled, and even if the price goes up, you don't, it doesn't matter to you because you took your profits and you're waiting for that pullback. So yeah, now jumping into the daily RSI over here, you can see that we do have this resistance line. So if I just start zooming in a bit and a bit more, you can see that we bounced off this level on the RSI at 79.68. And what is that, you would ask? Well, that is the level we hit over here in September. So I don't remember if I showed this to you, but this was a very strong level that I was looking at based on the RSI. And as you can see, we perfectly hit that level and had a nice pullback. So, and now we're coming back into the overbought as well. So you may just want to wait a little bit and wait till you get to the overbought. Maybe not wait until you get to this trend line because maybe it doesn't get there, and take some profits. I do want to see if we have any bearish divergences right now because I didn't do that before recording. All right, so we do have a swing high over here. Oh yeah, the bearish divergence kind of played out because we had that sell-off, right? So you see the move towards the downside. You made a low. Now you're making a higher, well, not a higher high, but still this is a bearish divergence as well because here you have a high and you're potentially making a higher high right now on the price action, but you're still not making a higher high on the RSI. So in the RSI, you're in a downtrend in the price action, you're in an uptrend. That is a bearish divergence. That is a divergence between the price action and the oscillator. And that means that we can have a further pullback. And I would, mean the 20 EMA would be the best level to get into the project. But if you feel frisky and you want to wait until it comes back to the 55 EMA, you can do that as well. Buying these dips is the best thing right now. It's the best thing every time, actually. So yeah, daily bearish divergence. So I would look for some pullbacks in the coming days. Now jumping into KuCoin, by the way, to invalidate that bearish divergence on the daily chart, what we would need to do is have a massive, daily candle on the price action, so that the RSI follows the price action and makes a higher high, just like the price action has made a higher high. So that would invalidate the bearish divergence. But at the minute, we are in a bearish divergence, and the Bitcoin bearish divergence played out a couple of days after I spotted it. So maybe this will be the same with crypto.com. Now, on the 4-hourly chart here, you can see we have a head and shoulders pattern playing out over here. And, this could be sort of bearish right now, because if we start losing our neckline, and let me show you where the neckline is, hold on. If we start losing this light blue trend line, which is the neckline, and the neckline basically connects the two lows in between the shoulders and the head, that is your neckline. If you start losing it, you would have further targets towards the downside. Now, if we take a trend line and set it from the top of the head to the very bottom of the trend line and place it at the trend line, you would get your target towards the downside. That would be 22 cents. And that's a pretty hefty pullback, I would say, right? Almost a 50% pullback. But, anything can happen in crypto. That's just the way it is. And we're doing pretty healthy on the 4-hourly chart, a bit overextended from the 4-hourly EMA. I bet we're overextended, yeah. So the stochastic RSI is in the overbought, and the RSI is starting to get into the overbought slowly but surely. We're getting the bullish cross above the histogram on the MACD, so there's your confirmation of the uptrend. And that was just recently. I think it was yesterday, yeah. So it was yesterday. So if you looked at the bullish cross on the MACD, and you would have entered, you would have been in profit right now around about 17%. So yeah, you want to come back down, hold the 4-hourly EMA, and let the 4-hourly EMA carry you up above this swing high, right? You have a higher high, and you want to create a higher high over here, because like I said, you need that big candle to take you up for the RSI to invalidate the bearish divergence at the minute. Now let's jump into the daily chart real quick. So yeah, if you haven't noticed, we switched over to KuCoin so that we could have more indicators on the charts. Now stochastic on the daily is showing us that we're very nearby the oversold area, and as you can see, it seems like we're reversing the trend right now on the daily chart. Over here, you can see that we are turning over. We're having the little bullish cross. So that may be your signal that you're flipping bullish, and you may not actually have the pullback that we're anticipating. Nothing is for sure in technical analysis. It's all based on, mathematics and formulas, and it's all based on theory, and it's all based on possibilities and probabilities. Now, on the daily chart, the RSI, we do have these two support lines. So this support line, the light blue, the lower one, you did see it on the previous RSI chart on the daily, but this one is a new one that I set up, and you can see we had a bounce over here in October, another bounce over here in October as well, October 31st, and another bounce over here in November. So you can see, and you've kind of rejected this area before as resistance. So this would be a nice area to hold as support. And if you see that area lost, you would look for this bounce, because you can see you have two bounces off this area, and a third one would be very probable if we had a nice pullback. But I'm not guaranteeing any pullbacks. I'm just saying, if you see a pullback and you see it coming as low as this trend line, I would recommend that you consider at least looking for some buying opportunities, because usually, as you can see, when you get to this trend line, you have a massive move towards the upside. Same over here. And I would expect maybe this would happen towards the end of November, and then we have that massive move towards the upside in December. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. We're getting a bit overextended on the MACD as well. So you had your bullish crossover here October 27th, and then you got overextended. You can see the price appreciation we had with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If I missed out anything on the charts, do let me know down below in the comments section. And if you would like to check me out on Twitter, please do so. I have a Telegram chat as well, a Discord server, and I do have a Patreon, so make sure to check me out on there. A couple of different tiers, in fact, 5 tiers with different benefits that will help you grow as a crypto enthusiast. And think of it as buying a cup of coffee or a couple of cups of coffee, and instead of getting the coffee, you get some useful information that will potentially make you a lot of money. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.